Hello and welcome back to another video. I'm just making this little video in between the parts, between part 1 and part 2 of my TT02 build, because I had a little bit of interest in how I came about making this stainless steel drive shaft. So here's another one I made. I made this one today, in fact, and I recorded everything that I did. So we're going to go outside because the angle grinder obviously makes too much noise and too much mess to be used indoors. So we're going to go outside and I'll show you all the bits that you need and the process of how to do it. Alright, so I'm just out here on my balcony. I'm going to show you quickly the simple stuff that you need to make this drive shaft for the TT02. So you're going to need a 5mm thick, 25cm long piece of stainless steel rod. If you're an old school person, you can do it all with just a file. A file will do just fine, but I'm going to use a file. I'm going to use some 60 grit just to clean up the burrs. I'm going to use an angle grinder with a grinding disc and also a cutting disc. Again, you could just use a hacksaw, but that's what I'm using, and of course a bunch of bearings for the shaft, okay, and a vise to hold it all in. Right, so let's get started. So you're going to take your stainless steel rod, and then you're going to use one of the diff gears, and you're just going to measure the height of the teeth, because up to here it's circular, but then it goes to this shape afterwards. So you want to just measure how long these are. You can use a pen. I've just used a bit of electrical tape instead, and that's what I've done there. And then all I'm going to do then after that is, if you get a pen, you know, a bit of a permanent marker, and quickly put some ink on the shaft there, and then just press, not the shaft, into the gear, and then just press that down tightly onto here. Make sure you don't move it, and then that should leave some little marks to show you where you got to cut it down. After that, you're going to get it in the vise. Make sure it's nice and flat and straight, and then you want to line up the lines. You just take the angle grinder and you want to just take small bits off at a time. So now that side's done, that side's pretty flat. You see all the ink that was there has disappeared. So we're going to flip it over now to the other side. So that's not looking too bad. Let's see how that fits. Perfect, look at that. Perfect first time. Just like that. And it should fit just like that. Couldn't come much further than about here, so we'll do a rough cut there, which gives us enough space, and then we can test it from there. If we just take another one of these, put it here, yeah, it's about there. So we'll cut that off, just this piece here. So we'll have to switch to the cutting disc. Alright, so let's check the fitment again. So good that side. Still looking a little bit long this side, just this section here. So we'll switch back to the grinding wheel, and then we'll just grind that off at the end, flatten it out. Doesn't have to be perfect, as you can see, but let's see how it fits. Still hot, I think. Okay. Yep, perfect. Look at that. Right on there. And there it is, just like that. Right, okay, so with this bit, with this one, you can see I already bored out the chassis here. This is my old one, and also bored out the chassis here to fit much bigger gears. Also as well, you have to, it's only a tiny bit, but you have to take a tiny bit out of just there in order to make it fit as well. So let me grab my, I've got a 25 tooth mod one here. Let me slide some bearings onto this thing. Okay, so I've got all 4 bearings on here, 1 in front of the pinion and then 3 behind. So you just line these up with the holes on the chassis. So let's see. Right, and then once you know it's spinning freely and it's in the right spot, you're just gonna tighten up the grub screw nice and tight. Make sure it's nice and tight, because what you want it to do is you want it to leave a little mark in the shaft. And basically, to stop this being able to move backwards and forwards, all you need is a bit of aluminium or steel tubing that's 5mm bore again, so it slides over this, and maybe 6 or 7mm diameter. So then you can just cut them to size, and all you do is fit 1 piece in between there and 1 piece in between the pinion and this one, so it doesn't touch, and then that makes it so the whole drive shaft stays in place. I'll show you that when I get back to my desk. So I've just highlighted where the grub screw was. I'm just gonna use the grinding wheel to make a flat spot. Just clean it up with a file. Doesn't need to be perfect, and I've just taken a whole bunch of my skin off. Nice. Like and subscribe, because you know these videos cost me skin, literally. And there we are. That bloody diff grease gets everywhere, but yep, that's how it will fit. It can still move a little because, like I said, you need to just put some, you can use washers, if to be fair, just in between there and there, just to make it so this doesn't move, and then that's it, that's the whole thing done. Easy as that. Okay, now to secure it from moving back and forth, you can see this little blue piece here. Because I have the upgraded spur gear set that I bought for the Tamiya TT02, it comes with this little metal spacer. All I did is I just cut it in half with a Dremel and then sanded it down to be the right size so it fits in between the pinion and the bearing. And just in here, you won't be able to see it, but it's in between the pinion and the bearing as well. Basically it stops the drive shaft moving at all. So if you see I'm doing this, you can see that the drive shaft barely moves. That's all the movement it has. So it's pretty darn solid. So that'll be the same for this. all you got to do is, right, if you don't have that, you can just buy some stainless steel tubing or some aluminium tubing that's 5mm bore, like I was saying before, and maybe 6 or 7mm across. I'll just display one now, and then you'll be able to cut it to size and do exactly the same. Just fill in the gap there, fill in the gap there, and that will prevent this from being able to move. And then that means that this will never end up rubbing on the plastic here. And then yeah, you'll have a perfectly running system, just like that. So yeah, simple as that. Probably take you about 20 minutes, half an hour in total to do. And then yeah, you got yourself a stainless steel drive shaft, and this will take all the power. Just went back in at the end with the file just to get the flat spot nice and wide, so that I have some more adjustment. Here we go! I'm going to be doing a rebuild very, very soon and recording that, doing a nice little time lapse of this coming back together, because as you can see, I have my hardened steel crown and diff gears here. Got 2 sets, so I'll be able to, oh, what's that? Oh, listen to that. Rings. Oh, that's a good bit of metal. You know it's a good bit of metal when it rings like that. Wow, okay, brilliant. So yeah, I'll be putting those in. Completely rebuilding the car and then taking it for a speed run. So that's going to be in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. If this helped you in any way, shape or form, don't forget to like, subscribe. It really, really helps the channel. If you are also trying to build this, obviously that's probably why you're watching this video, and you've got any questions, then hit me up in the comments, and I'll get back to you and I'll give you any information that you need to know on making one of these. But thank you so much. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video when we're rebuilding this one. Take care. Bye bye.